And just like that, I am unwell all over again with the cliffhanger. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We are here today for a July reading recap. I read / listened to 8 books in July, and in this video I'm gonna share my thoughts on all 8 of them. I am very much like full blown in my romantasy era, so if you are also a romantasy girly, stay tuned for which books to smash and which ones to pass. All right, let's get to it. The very first book that I finished in July was The War of Two Queens. This is book number 4 in the Blood and Ash series. I have yet to give any of this author's books 5 stars. This one did get 4 stars, which is a pretty high rating for me. It was one of my favorites in the series so far, the most action-packed in my opinion. And I'm also just loving Poppy and Castiel's relationship. I love when the enemies become lovers and then just like stay lovers for the rest of the series. That may be boring to some, but I like it. For some reason, this took me like 6 weeks to read, but I finally finished the finale in the Harry Potter series. And I gave it 5 stars, so I don't know why it took me so long. I did like it. I think I was just like engaged in too many other books and series at the same time that I was having a hard time focusing. Also, it is a really long book, but I have finally officially read all of the Harry Potter books. I'm still working on watching all the movies. I'm not a big movie person, so I'm kind of taking my time with that. Continuing on my Jennifer L. Armentrout journey, I started Storm and Fury via graphic audio. I did not realize these were young adult. Going into them, I very quickly realized as I was listening to it. I almost did not finish it after hearing so many phrases like danger sandwich with a side of crazy sauce and holy canola oil.
Brother, ugh.
It was very cringy to me. I almost didn't finish it, but I did realize that my 15-year-old self would have loved this book. And I probably would have started saying things like holy canola oil. So I did end up finishing it, and I am reading the rest of the trilogy for younger Hannah. Overall, I gave this one 3 stars. Listening to the graphic audio made it a little more bearable, but also a little more cringy too. There weren't a whole lot of romance scenes, but whenever there was any kind of like romance between the 2 love interests, there was this like jazz music playing in the background. Not my favorite graphic audio production. Speaking of graphic audio though, the Iron Flame Part 2 graphic audio came out in July. I listened to it like so quickly. And just like that, I am unwell all over again with the cliffhanger. Waiting until January for the 3rd book in the series to come out. I made a TikTok video about this where I said graphic audio needs to publish the graphic audio version of Onyx Storm, the 3rd book in the series, like right after the main book comes out, because I just know I'm going to read Onyx Storm in like one sitting and then want to listen to the graphic audio like right away. So graphic audio, if you're listening to this video for whatever reason, you're probably not, but if you are here, hello, please start working on the Onyx Storm audio ASAP. I'm begging you. Up next was A Soul of Ash and Blood, which is the 5th book in a Blood and Ash series. This may have been my least favorite one in the series so far. It's all from Castiel's point of view, and it basically is just retelling the entire 1st book from Castiel's point of view. So you already know pretty much all of what's gonna happen if you recall book 1. There are some things that we don't learn in book 1 that happen to Castiel that Poppy has no idea about. I don't know. It was kind of fun to see like when Castiel fell for Poppy and like how soon he got feelings for her, because you have to kind of speculate that when you read it from Poppy's point of view in the 1st book. But this honestly felt like a money grab. Nothing to rave about. And I do wonder when the 6th book will come out, because it is on Goodreads, but there's no like release date. And book 5 came out a year ago, so I'm just curious. I've tried Googling and Google was not helpful. We'll see, I guess. I did stray from my romantasies for a little bit to read this book that was sent to me by a fellow dietitian. Live Nourished comes out on August 13th. A really great read all about like bashing diet culture and learning how to fuel yourself without food rules. 5 stars. highly recommend. Also recommend following the author on Instagram. She's awesome. Up next, I read When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This was one of my most anticipated reads. I've heard such good things about it. It has dragons and romance, so it's right up my alley. I may need to read it again to fully love it. I gave it 4 stars because it did get really good at the end, and I think I would give it 5 stars if I wasn't so confused at the beginning. The world building was a little confusing to me. I don't know, it took me a minute to like fully grasp what all was going on, who the characters were. There are these like journal entries that I didn't really want to read, but they actually ended up being important later on. So I probably will try reading it again. I do love the male main character, and it's very much like a he falls first, she falls later kind of thing. So yeah, it has potential to be 5 stars, but it's currently sitting in 4 territory, but I can be swayed. And finally, in the month of July, I listened to the second book in the Harbinger series, Rage and Ruin. Again, the young adultness of this series is really throwing me off. It sometimes doesn't even feel like young adult. It feels like something I would have read in like middle school. There are some scenes that are very adult, but others just feel like the main character very well could be 14 if it wasn't for the adult content going on. I do plan to listen to the third one, round out the series. I also was reading the comments on Goodreads and learned that this is a spin-off of the Dark Elements series. Those might also be young adult, given my experience with Jennifer L. Armentrout's young adult writing here. I don't know, I might pass on those, or at least not be in any rush to read those. And that is everything that I read in July. If you want a little sneak peek of what I am getting into in August, here's what I'm already working on. The graphic audio of From Blood and Ash was published, so I'm gonna give that a listen. I also have A Shadow in the Ember on hold at the library. This one is related to the Blood and Ash series. I am also wanting to dabble in the Powerless trilogy. The second book was published in July, so I'd like to kind of get caught up on that before book 3 comes out. Oh, and House and Sky of Breath was also published in the graphic audio version, so I think I'll give that a listen to also. If you guys want to see more of these monthly reading recaps, let me know. I would love to share with you the romantasies and more that I get into in August. Otherwise, be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps this channel out so much, and it also keeps you in the know when I post a brand new video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!